You know, I think it's about time I work on the brains of my PC, and I have just the tool to do it. I am Bruce, and this is Gears of More, the guy wire for the Sparrows of Technology. Let's do this thing. It was about the right time to upgrade my system. My old ASUS board of 5 years finally gave up the ghost. And quite frankly, it was getting long in the saber tooth. So I did some shopping around and finally settled on another ASUS board. They've had a pretty good track record with me, so I went with this. But in case some of you are asking, if you don't know anything about motherboards and which one to get, and you're in the store and looking around, I have my three-point rule on finding the right electronics. Bear with me on this, okay? First of all, a reputable company, a company that's well known and established, that's almost a given that chances are you're going to get a good product from that. Number two, the box itself is plastered with awards. I mean, not just any esoteric awards, but something that you can search and find and verify. At least a whole bunch of awards on the box. That's also a good start. And thirdly is the heft of the box. Is it heavy? You're wondering, why is that important? Well, a heavy box means they put some care in protecting their product. There's maybe some documentation and high quality cardboard. Gives it some weight and tells you that this is a good product. If you match 2 of those 3 points, I mean any 2 of those points, chances are you get a good product. That rule has never failed me. The only time the rule has failed me is when I went with just 1 point. Stick with 2 out of 3 and you're good. 3 out of 3 and you're golden. So this one meets the 2 out of 3. Reputable company, heavy box. It doesn't have awards on the box, but if you check out their website on this product, the ROG STRIX X570-E Gaiming, you'll see that it has quite a few awards. So this one actually meets 3 of the points. But if you're in the store, you won't know that. So just remember, 2 out of 3, and chances are you got a good product. Here we are, the ASUS ROG STRIX X570-E Gaming Motherboard. ROG meaning Republic of Gamers, and STRIX, this is from ASUS' own website, taken from the ancient Roman and Greek word for owl. STRIX means the keenest hearing and sharpest eyesight. STRIX means feeling your environment so that you detect and react to the slightest movement. STRIX mean survival on the very edge of instinct. So there you have it. So, once again, I really like the graphics on the box here. It's first sight, it will really draw your attention saying this looks like a happening board. And on the other side, gives you a rundown of all the little specs and everything you need to know about this board. It's very informative and pleasant to look at. I mean, the side has some English and other language translating. The other side is just some more of the graphics here. This X570-E is a chipset designated for a certain type of motherboard. This motherboard is not the flagship motherboard, but it is almost there. And X570 chipsets are reserved for those type of motherboards. So typically you'll see this in either a flagship motherboard or from something that's very close to it. In fact, my opinion, this board only has maybe 1 or 2 things missing that will push it up to a flagship motherboard. But it's a good board. So let's take a look what's inside here. All right, we have this box. It says, "Welcome to the Republic." Nice little cardboard box. What is this? Let's take a look inside. Oh, the antenna for wireless connection. Let's pull the motherboard itself out. Put it aside for a moment. We have some, if I can pull this out, some stickers. Very nice. I might add this to my case for some highlights here and there. The manual. It's only, wow, it's a fairly thick manual actually. Lots of chapters. Contact information. And what do we have here? Oh, it says here, thank you for your purchase. Thank you for purchasing this Rogue STRIX product. You've made the choice of champions. Woo! To learn more about your passion, learn more about our passion for gaming, and to receive news about the latest Rogue and then, yeah. Okay, let's see what's on the other side here. Got some SATA cables. And here, some more cables. Oh, zip ties. Temperature probe. What's this? I might have probably slipped out the other side. Oh, door hanger. Nice. Very nice. All right, let's get back to the board. It is nice and wrapped in anti-static plastic. I'm trying not to touch any of the edges. There we go. Nice arrangement of black and muted colors. It's going to go well on my case. Looks well put together, I must say. Nice thick board. But then again, this is common for most manufacturers today. They make their motherboards fairly thick and sturdy because of the oversized air coolers that have been plopping on here. For example, I used to have this beast on there, which is the Noctual fans. You've seen these, but it just took up too much space in my case, so I'm going with an all-in-one cooler. But this air cooler does the job. All right, let's start with the back panel I/O port. What you're starting to see more and more often, in especially the higher end boards, is a pre-installed I/O plate, which is a good feature. But also, for some reason, they haven't done anything about these edges. They're really sharp. I happen to cut my finger on one of these edges, and it's very easy if you're not careful. So I wish they would do something to take care of that. But anyway, we have the HDMI port. It's a 2.0 display port, the BIOS flashback button and LED right here. 7 USB 3.2 ports, and a Type A and one Type C, which is a good little touch here. A 2.56 gigahertz LAN port and a standard LAN port if you want to do some LAN parties or whatever. It's a nice touch. 2 of the modules for the antennas for Wi-Fi. For the Wi-Fi module, we also have 5 gold-plated audio jacks. And me personally, I think that's more of a marketing gimmick than anything. I don't think anybody will plug into a gold-plated audio jack and compare it to another one and says, "Oh my gosh, what a difference!" If anything, it's going to be slight, but it has a nice bling to it, so what the heck? Let's leave it in there. And also your optical SPDI port. Okay, let's start with the main stuff first. This is a socket AM4, which means you'll take any AMD Ryzen CPU from any generation. That's the beauty of these type of boards, is that they're backwards compatible. I've been a diehard Intel fan for a while. In fact, it was like quite a while ago I was using an AMD Athlon board, and it worked pretty well, but there were some compatibility issues with some drivers for a microphone I was using. So I jumped ship, went back to Intel, and stuck with it ever since, until now. I've seen AMD makes quite a few strides with their chips and processors, and I've been quite impressed. So I decided to give them another chance. So here's the whole thing. Right here are high quality capacitors and chokes from Japan. Their purpose is to make sure there's a smooth, clean, even flow of power coming into the CPU so that there's no disruption of performance. They generate a lot of heat, hence the robust heat sinks and heat pipes. Our memory slots is DDR4. It'll take up to 128 gigabytes of RAM, which means you can literally have a single 32, you can go up to 32 gigabytes of RAM in each individual slot. That's massive. We have two M.2 slots for hard drives. Now, I've been told that the one closest to the CPU is going to give you the best performance. That may be the case, but again, it might be so slight that you won't even notice the difference between the two. But that being said, I'm going to put one in each one and see how much performance we get out of there. This one will be strictly for the OS, and this one will be for programs. And in my hard drives will just be for storage only. Now, many people think that the CPU is the most important part of the board. That's not necessarily accurate, because the only purpose of the CPU is for number crunching, to run calculations, to basically do the thinking. But in my opinion, the most important part is this guy over here, the chipset. And this one is the X570, which is usually slated for their mid to flagship level boards. This is sort of like a mid-level board. This is life support. It makes sure everything is getting enough power, that nothing is being overheated or whatever. It's in fact, in my opinion, is the brains of the operation. In fact, if you want to put it to type of similarities, if you look at the human brain, you have the higher functions which you do the thinking, emotions, whatever, and then there's the medulla oblongata, the one that controls the heart functions. Make sure that you're not getting sick and staying healthy. That's what this is for. In my opinion, this is the most important part of the board because it keeps everything else alive. These symbols right here light up via LED, and it's addressable via AuraSync. There's also a light here. Also, there are some LED headers here, addressable here, here, and an addressable here. So I'm going to utilize this on my case, and let's see what kind of effect we're going to get. 3 PCIe 4.0 slots for Crossfire or SLI configuration. That is becoming a dying art among gaming. Some people are still using it, but fewer and fewer games are supporting this configuration. It seems to be the best bang for buck is to use a single graphics card. But if you want to use that configuration, this board still has it. Supreme FX audio chip will give you a playback of 32 bits per 192 kilohertz. Very good. We have ASUS node connector here, ASUS Q LED, and ASUS Q code to show any errors. I think every board should have this kind of feature. In fact, maybe take it even a step further. Instead of just a code, it would actually display some text. But I'm just dreaming right there. But I think it'll be a good thing to add. Now there are a bunch of connectors all over here, so I'll just rush through them fairly quickly. You have your USB 2.0, USB 3.2. There is a USB Type-C. We have a whole bunch of fan connectors, fan and pump connectors, but you can use them either for fan or pump. I think there's about a total of 7 here. And 2 smaller PCIe slots you can use for expansion cards. I plan to use one of these to supplement an extra USB 3.0 port on my case. 24-pin eATX power connector, 8-pin ATX 12-volt power connector, and a 4-pin power connector. Now, this one is essential, of course. You absolutely have to connect this one for it to work. But if you plan to do some type of overclocking, you need to use this port here. If you want to do extreme overclocking, you definitely have to use this one as well. You have to go connector here and connector here and then here. You cannot just connect this and this because that causes problems. Okay? I will be supplementing this motherboard with some other components, such as the AMD Ryzen 7 3700X. It's a 3rd generation processor, still good. They have some new ones out, but they are just not available. So I got a good bargain on this and I won't be disappointed. I'll be adding 32 gigs of RAM, DDR4, my favorite brand, the Corsair Vengeance. It's 3600 megahertz, is probably more than enough. And my M.2 drives, Western Digital Black and Crucial. The reason why I have 2 different brands is because I only had one left of the Western Digital in the store, so I said, what the heck? I'll use this one for the OS and this one for the programs. Excellent. And that's the ASUS ROG STRIX X570-E gaming motherboard. This will be part of my build for my computer case. I will get started immediately, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and remember, let's keep it shiny. This portion was brought to you by Crawling Octopus, who believes in you. You can do the thing.